Welcome to another video of Dreamdata. This time we're going to train on journeys. And this is our agenda. We're going to look at the characteristics of journeys. We're going to look into how do the filters work to find certain information. We're also going to look into the use case of if you have launched a campaign, how do I know how many deals did it affect? And then, of course, we're going to look at a journey and the different touch points and how to further investigate on them. Journeys is based on your CRM system as well as on the data provided by our tracking. It comprises companies, contacts, and deals. It is quite key to understand that companies and contacts will not be always one-on-one with the companies and contacts that you have in your CRM system. This is because through our tracking, we are able to identify companies and contacts that actually do not exist in your CRM system. In short, I will show you how to identify those and to know which ones are new and which ones have been cross-checked with your CRM system. Deals will always come from your CRM system as these are created in your CRM system and these cannot be created by tracking. So what is it that we're trying to understand on the customer journey? We're trying to understand what stakeholders are part of the customer journey, which content did they consume, what did they look at, what worked, did they download something, when did they identify, because we of course are able to see anonymous tracking, but once they have identified through an email address because they filled out a form, for example, we suddenly have no longer anonymous visitors, but people that we know. Within the product, it will look like this. You'll have on one hand side the different stakeholders involved and then a bunch of dots. Each dot represents a touch point. That means an action that somebody has done on your website, either anonymous or not anonymous. And so in this case example, we can see that the journey started with organic search, followed by LinkedIn ads. Then suddenly we see also that the CRM and data person joined the ride. Then we see that we have some different types of meetings. In between, we have a colorful dot. That means a conversion. That means somebody has identified itself via an email address or given us an email because they have downloaded certain content. What a conversion is and when does a dot really highlight, that depends on you and the settings that you'll find on the data platform settings. Let's have a look at the product. So when you log into Dreamdata, this is the first view you will see. We will navigate together to journeys and have a look at companies. The setup is as usual. You'll have a set of filters on the top. You can jump between the time. You can select specific channels that you like to understand, sources and campaigns. And then of course you have a bunch of other filters that you can apply, such as company, country, industry, employees, account owner, when you're trying to understand whose deal is it or what industry are we representing here. Since Dreamdata is an account-based, we will show you obviously accounts, but you can also select and say, please show me company leads, and then we'll switch. If you click on the wheel, you'll be able to download the list of companies that you can see here. We will have different information on your companies. In this case, you can see we have country, industry, account owner, employees. This information comes from your CRM. In cases where it says no data, that means that you have not filled out the account owner in your CRM system, and thus we are not able to fill that gap. Whether information comes from your CRM system or whether we have identified a new company that you do not have in your CRM system, that you can find out by looking at here below the domain. It says created in HubSpot or the CRM system. That means it comes from your CRM system. In other occasions, you will find examples such as here. It says created in Dreamdata. That means it comes from our tracking. which means also you do not have that information in your CRM system. Another way to find out which companies, which accounts come from your CRM system and which from our tracking is by adding a filter called data source and then selecting the respective data that you'd like to understand. Analytics here is our tracking script. And by clicking on apply, you will see which companies come from our tracking script. Contacts looks quite similar. You'll be able to see here the people, title if it's found on the CRM system, and the amount of session and channels that they touched. Now let's look at the case when you have deals. We can see that for this quarter, we have about 17 deals. We're looking at the stage new business, and we would now like to know, we have a certain campaign. Did that campaign generate any deals for this quarter? So we can click on campaigns and then simply select the campaign that you'd like to investigate and click on apply. In our example, we can see that 11 deals were affected by this campaign. And if we'd like to understand a bit further what exactly happened, how did these people end up buying our product, we recommend to click at the company's name, and then we will see here exactly what happened in their journey. The first part will show you here the stages. Stage average will show you how long did it take from first touch to new business, how long did it take from first touch to become an SQL, and how long did it take from an SQL to a new business. So it breaks down the journey for you to understand the amount of sessions and contacts involved. Further below, you will see the timeline and then the different contacts that were required, so the different stakeholders that were involved in order to close this deal. We can see that at the beginning, we had the first person coming in with a conversion over organic search, followed by direct, and then suddenly we have nothing more happening with this person. Suddenly we can see the next person jumping into the journey, and here we have a lot of information happening with the last stakeholders being heavily involved in closing this deal. If we'd like to investigate a bit further on who these people are, we can look down here at our table. This example is specifically good because you can see here we have one person that is not ticked off. If we set the tick, we can also see when did that person come into the game. And the interesting part here, this represents the anonymous ID. This person never identified itself with an email address, so we do not know who that person is, but it doesn't matter. We know that this person was part of the journey. If I'd like to understand exactly what is happening here, I can actually click on the dot that counts for all of them, either green or gray, and investigate further. When did this session start? What pages did they look at? They downloaded an ebook, that's when the dot turned green. And what other pages did they look after? This will help you as a marketeer, but also as a salesperson to understand which are the different content, which different pages are actually being viewed by your potential prospects. And this is it. I hope it was helpful, and please do reach out if you have further questions. Thank you.